Call to order the Bryant Planning Commission meeting of September 8th, 2025, and we'll have a roll call.
Here.
Staton,
Here.
Edwards, Thompson,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Speed, absent, Irwin,
Here.
Pinfield.
Here. All right. We had minutes in your packet from the August the 11th meeting. Should have reviewed.
I move they be accepted.
Have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any discussion or corrections? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll have, I think Tim's going to give us a presentation tonight on our water and wastewater rate analysis. Before he does that, were there any announcements out of staff? Tim, roll with it. You got 30 seconds.
I'm on page 26. Thanks for having me, guys. I think I've met everybody up there, but if not, I'm Tim Forney, I'm the Public Works Director. And I'm here to present to you the 2025 water and wastewater rate study. Will Dan Financial Services and Dan Jackson particularly is the consultant who did this study for us. This is their presentation, and I'm going to use it. So it's about 30 pages. There's going to be some slides I go through pretty quick. If you want me to slow down and answer some questions, I certainly can. But like I said, page 26 is kind of the page everybody wants to know about. Next slide, please. So in this, you have some background rates, customer volumes, current forecast, the cost of service. Of course, the whole point of rates is to help predict the future of your costs, so you can have a CIP plan and cover your operating expenses. And then the initial rate plan and scenarios. So there's one more. Just some general information. Utilities have been increasing 5 to 6% a year. And then AWWA says that the rates for water and wastewater will triple over the next 15 years. Rate adjustments are primarily due to reasons outside of the utilities' direct control. Like in there, it says inflation, capital improvement plans, wholesale costs. And then 30 to 40% of utilities charging rates that do not cover their costs. And you will see if you pay attention to the news, how exorbitant some of these rates have been in some of these utilities. They're pretty significant. This is the current rate structure, the 5/8 meter. Minimum fee is $14.53. That is 70 to 75% of our customers. You'll also see the wastewater structure fee for residential and non-residential. As it's structured now, non-residential or outside city limits pay double the prevailing minimum rate. So that's why you see that $41.40 there for them. Next step. This is the infrastructure fee, which was voted into ordinance back in August of 2023. Again, 5/8 meters, the most common one for us. It started at $15 and it has a 5% multiplier, or 5% increase every year. This fee does only fund water and sewer loans and bonds. It can't be used for anything else. Next. So here's a
What's the average size of a water meter most of the time in Bryant?
5/8.
5/8?
Yes, sir. Current monthly charges, you can kind of see where we stand at the $89.29 for a bill based on about 4,500 gallons, and then across the board with some of the other utilities. Next. So here's the current number of accounts, 8,800 water accounts, and then about 1,200 more sewer accounts at 10,056. Again, that's because we serve outside the city limits, and some of the inside city is still served by Salem Water. Growth is projected at 1.7%, so that's 158 water accounts, and then 2% for about 213 accounts per year for the next 5 years, so from 2025 to 2030. And you can see we increased about 1,000 accounts by 2030 for wastewater and a little under 1,000 for water. Yes. First little graph is water consumption. As you can tell, residential, non-residential is the largest portion. And then Woodland Hills, so we supply water to. And then you have like Parks and Rec on here and multifamilies. Sprinklers are on a separate meter.
Where is Woodland Hills, remind me?
It's across in Alexander, across the Burgos Drive.
Okay.
Now, at one time, they were not paying their fair share of the water. Are they up there
They
now?
they pay a wholesale rate, so through 1 6-inch meter, so they pay for the water that they take from us.
So I'm gonna show my ignorance early on in this. Where do we get our water?
CAW, Central Arkansas Water.
But where is it?
Little Rock.
Little Rock. Is it Little Rock? Okay. I thought some of it came from over at Washita. Too far to pump.
Next slide, please. So with that being said, here's your water consumption forecast. It's expected to increase 1.55% over the next, or every year for the next 5 years. You'll always see this clause that water is weather dependent, more rain, less irrigation.
Could be, yeah.
This is one example.
Reservoir Road.
Okay, so key assumptions having the rate plan. So the increase of 3% as discussed earlier. And then also in this is 1 full-time employee for the water utility and 1 full-time employee for the wastewater utility each year over the next 5 years, so a total of 10 employees. Near midterm capital improvement projects, which are about 61.8 million. And then the assumption that it'd be 20-year bonds at 4% interest. And then, as I discussed earlier, the 100% of the infrastructure fee is only used for debt payments.
Seems like a cheap
So the
term.
full-time employee, are we understaffed
Okay.
currently?
State
Is that
municipal.
why we're taking that one?
The system continues to grow, and we add slower, and so we add staff slower than the system grows. A couple of years ago, Andrea, we took on pipe bursting in-house, and that job alone takes a lot of the wastewater crew just to perform that.
Okay.
And they still gotta do cameraing, and preventative maintenance and inspections, so. Cost of service, total number is 5.83 million for water, wastewater 6.72. You can see the individual percentages broke up in there. This is the Central Arkansas water rate forecast. So they gave us 10 years of increase by volume, and there's also an infrastructure fee in there. That's nothing we don't have any control of that, so that automatically gets passed on. So prediction is about 1.9 million to 3.2 million for water costs over the next 5 years. And as you can see on the bottom there, the total water cost increase from CAW is about 8.8%. Here is the capital improvement plan, which is really hard to see on that screen. Just for background, the water projects, the top two, the 1.5 million gallon tank and the 12-inch extension from Boone Road, those are currently have ARPA funds assigned to them for just design, so those are already in the works. And then for wastewater, the very bottom two, the Lift Station 5 upgrade and the Lift Station 5 parallel force main, same thing, has ARPA funds assigned to it for design.
Teach me about the activated sludge process.
That's the actual plan itself.
Okay. No.
Go for a tour.
Yeah, they can do a tour. I don't need a tour. Smell it from here.
So here is the forecast for the debt issues of when we predict to take the debt. And they correlate to the projects on the capital improvement plan. We're almost to the good page. Here's the debt service payments, so the current and the future as we adopt the debt. Here's the entire forecast of water and wastewater cost of service. Okay. So But here's what everybody is actually concerned about. So, no change in the rate structure, uniform percentage adjustments, base volumes, higher increases for water is pretty much. So we're looking at a 9 and 6% increase over the next 3 years, and then 9% and 2% over the 2 after that.
9% being water.
Yes, the water's 9 and the wastewater is the 6 and 2.
So over the next 5 years, we're estimating 9% a year for water increase?
You get to the next page.
Okay.
I have the same question.
That's way more than people's paychecks are increasing, and way more than the inflation rate.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why it's going up so much.
Yeah, so you can see for the 5/8, current is $14.53 for the minimum, the 2,000 gallon bill, and that would be going to $15.84. And then at the bottom, you have the per 100 gallon fee, which goes up about 6 cents. Next is the wastewater page. It gives you the same information, current $20.70, and then for 26, $21.94, and then the volumetric goes up, about 7 cents also. What you will notice on this screen, though, the infrastructure fee for a 5/8 meter has been reduced from $5.75 to $5. And in reducing this, next screen. You will see that the 2,000 gallon water users actually see a reduce in their bill. So it goes from $50.98 total bill to $47.78 for year 2026.
And this is the majority of folks?
Majority of folks are between 5,000 and 2,000 gallons. So if you notice, the 5,000 gallons goes up about 67 cents, which is very minimal. And this is all due to the decrease in that infrastructure fee. We're pretty happy of it because, well, we've all seen the horror stories of 40, 60, 50% increases through water and wastewater
Yeah,
utilities.
yeah.
I haven't seen a decrease in a bill yet.
So what's the deal with the water coming out of the, what do you call that, Saline County Water Association?
Yeah, we're still in the process of that, but this rate study only takes into account the next 5 years of projects. We did not include Saline Regional projects in the 5-year capital improvement plan, just to make sure when we do the next rate study that we'll probably include it then, but just to make sure that we're not taking on any costs that we don't need to be taking on yet.
We will have to do a rate study every 5 years for
Sure.
Act 605 that I think everybody's heard about.
Well, what is our status on that Saline Regional?
We're getting easements right now. We still have we've got about $4.5 million left in ARPA funds from the county. And we're actively pursuing other funding sources with the state and federal earmarked funds from their state revolving fund as well. So we're in the process of trying to secure some more funding, but we're getting easements. We have all the land purchased. We have our permit. Trying to think of other milestones. Yeah, it's moving along.
For those of you who don't know, Mariah is the person sitting on the board for Saline Regional, so.
Well, I got that impression. She knew more about it than you did. I shouldn't have said that, I'm sorry, too.
I'm not lying.
Is that gonna help us maintain what we got, or is it
That
gonna?
is the intention, yeah. Yeah. So, at one time, you guys had done the minimum cost and all, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, by the year 2030 is the way that we figured it. So if we are delivering water by 2030, initially our costs are going to be a little bit higher than what we get from Central Arkansas Water, but there's fees associated with Central Arkansas Water that we won't have as Saline Regional. And then the whole point of it is that we have a say in, our water source and what happens with it. So
Right.
we have a say on the board instead of just not having a say at all. We'll continue to keep the connection with Central Arkansas Water. We've already met with them, probably keep some kind of minimum going through those lines to keep them intact. But we're so good partners with Central Arkansas Water, of course. But yeah, we'll be taking the majority of our water from Saline Regional.
Thank you very much.
So in summary, the rate plan, it is to fund the next 5 years with the capital improvement projects for water and wastewater, and self-fund, and then helps provide the safe drinking water and effectively treat the wastewater continuing. like I said, in another 5 years, we will have to do a rate study. Actually, by ordinance, it would be in another 3 years, but so we don't end up doing 3.5, 3.5, we're gonna ask to change that ordinance to every 5 since we're mandated by Act 605 anyways.
Are we getting another water tower?
We are.
I thought I remembered you saying
It
that.
was in there.
Okay.
So you might have seen last Wednesday, the house over in the corner of Sullivan and Reynolds is no longer there. That is the water tower.
Where is it?
The corner of Sullivan and Reynolds, right by the high school,
Oh, yeah.
right after the school units. So
How many towers will give us?
well, it's gonna replace this current tower on the south side. So we'll have 3 total. We'll have what we call the north tank, Highway 5 tank, and then the south tank. And this tank, that the proposed tank going up is 1.5 million gallons. The one out there currently is a 1 million gallon, but we can't utilize all 1 million gallons.
It does away with it was the South Plain hydraulic gradient, puts it all on one plane. So one pressure source throughout the city.
Interesting.
All right, any questions of Tim?
Good job.
Thanks for your 30 seconds of time.
Yeah.
If you guys do have questions later, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Andrea, let's do our DRC report.
All right, First Southern Baptist Church, new site addition, 604 Reynolds, changes to the outfall of the retention pond. Hope Consulting requesting approval for changes to the retention pond outfall. That was approved contingent upon small comments being worked out with the city engineer. State Farm, 515 North Reynolds Road, site plan changes. Richardson Engineering requesting approval for modification to previously approved site plan, and that was approved. New Beginnings, Highway 5 and Midland Road, site plan. PLE requesting site plan approval, that was also approved. 20 Tanglewood Drive, conditional use permit, additional square footage for addition to accessory structure. David Harris requesting approval of the CUP, recommended approval. And that's it.
All right, I know we have a public hearing. In our bylaws, we allow for comments, and I'm assuming we have, I don't think our tenders are for the public hearing, so I was gonna allow some comments, short, brief comments, if they wanna make any, if that's okay with our staff. Did y'all have any comments for tonight? You're just here to observe?
No, I'm here for,
For the public hearing?
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You didn't tell me that was our applicant. Okay, we're gonna go right into the public hearing. And, our first item on the public hearing is 20 Tanglewood Drive, conditional use permit, for additional square footage for an addition to an accessory structure. David Harris requesting approval of a conditional use permit. And we'll let staff present it, and then we'll let y'all come up to the podium, or one of you.
Unfortunately, we don't have internet connection, so we can't present it on the board.
Don't turn off laptop. Technical difficulty.
Give us a,
But essentially, 20 Tanglewood Drive has an existing accessory structure. I believe in your packets, there is a breakdown of what that structure looks like and what it is compared to the square footage of the property of the existing residence. It is above the allowed square footage, but the resident that's doing it has notified us that there was a structure there prior to it, and he is just basically repeating the structure, or putting the new structure back up.
so we tore down one and put another one in its place. All right. Hey, this is better than the internet, this picture. Who drew
Yeah, I've been glad.
Colton draw that?
Yes, he did.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna let the applicant come up and talk to us.
This is the complaint.
Ma'am, is this about 20 Tanglewood Drive?
No, no.
Oh,
No, she is here for public.
well, okay, well,
Yeah,
we'll go back to that.
I have a feeling this is in regards to on the.
I do too, and I thought that when I started, but,
Yeah.
I reckon.
okay. All right. Lost control, but we are going to the public. Is there anyone, I mean, the applicant's not here, so we're gonna roll with it. That's all right with you guys. And if we get to a point that we need that question, we'll table it. But,
If it's possible, I would like to speak on behalf of the applicant.
come to the podium then.
If needed, only if needed.
You're gonna be their agent and you're gonna speak on their behalf.
Please sign in and give your address.
State your name.
State your name.
Do you know the applicant's name?
I'm Butch Higginbotham. I live at 400 Northwest 3rd Street. And Brother Harris has health issues, and I would like to speak on his behalf tonight if possible.
You are the agent for that person.
Thank you. As many of you know, 20 Tanglewood used to be the home of Mr. Robert M. Jones, millwright. He put up 3 existing buildings that are on your drawings there. One that says proposed and drawn in was a shed that literally was just completely falling down. And Brother Harris has gone out and has started replacing it, unbeknownst to code enforcement. Had started replacing it and meeting the exact parameters of what was existing there. And instead of a shed, he's putting up an enclosed building, or that was his plan, and that's what he would like to do. I would answer any questions if you might have any.
As far as you know, all the neighbors are okay with it, no complaints?
Yes, sir, as far as I know, all of them are.
And you're a neighbor close by, I know.
Well, yes, I can throw a football 3 times and hit his house.
Okay.
So,
3 times?
well, maybe 3 times, yeah.
Impressed.
I'm not as good as I used to be.
Oh, okay.
No, I live about, this crow flies about a block away. I've known him a long time, him and his wife Barbara. Barbara's a real estate agent for Thomas Real Estate, and he's a minister at Temple Missionary Baptist Church in Benton, where we attend, so that's why I'm here.
I also live a block away the other direction, and I don't have any trouble with it, so.
And as you know, we have approved a number of structures in that immediate vicinity in the last that are even more over the footage of what he is at that time, so.
Say the preacher was bootlegging a building in.
You know us old folks, we don't know they always gotta do that when we're.
I know. I don't think he did it on purpose.
I can guarantee he didn't, if he'd known he.
Joe might have on his property.
I'm ready. I'm with you. Be above the law.
All right, we're gonna open it up to the public, Butch.
Yes, sir. I'm out of
I
here.
hate to rush you, but
I'm moving.
not your turn. Are you here on the building?
No, on
Oh.
the fence.
We're gonna hang on. Anybody in the public here to talk for or against the conditional, or, conditional use for this accessory? Don't think there is anyone unless Mariah wants to talk. Everybody else has spoke, so. We will hold a roll call vote then.
Johnson,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Edwards, absent, Staton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Speed is absent, Wooten,
Yes.
and Hill.
Yes. Okay, it passed. You can notify Mr. Higginbotham and we will keep moving. I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're gonna move on through old business, which we have none, new business, which we have none. I'm gonna go back and open it up for a very brief comment period. So if you would like to come to the podium and share some comments, and we'll see if we have anything to,
I'm gonna try to make it through.
because we can't solve any problems. Need you to talk into the microphone. Okay. Because we don't have you on our agenda, so it's mainly comments.
Thank you.
Here, I think there's an extra one.
Okay. There you go. Thank you.
I attended the meeting 2 months ago, and I'm sure And during that time, it had been 4 years since anything had been done on my property where they said they would put a fence behind my property and down Airy Drive. Well, they did put a fence up, as you can look. Not a very good fence, but it's a fence. But I haven't seen any progress for the one on Airy Drive. They were supposed to close Airy Drive to a lot of heavy traffic, at least my half of it. Since then, they've installed heavy, taller buildings. There's been heavy trucks with heavy equipment bringing them to do I guess they're for RVs, I don't know. I would like to fence up Airy Drive. Got, again, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. Unfortunately, they don't always listen to Gigi and tell them to stay off the road. So I would like to see my fence on Airy Drive up, and I would like to see no further work done. Because the other lot they've done, they haven't cleared it, they haven't done anything on it. No trees have been removed. I need to protect my kids, and y'all approved it, that I need a fence in the back and down Airy Drive. And please do what you can.
Have you talked to code enforcement?
No, I've done that once in the past. It didn't help me any.
Did we approve a fence and they didn't build it?
Yeah.
We
I
did.
think the fence for certain was approved along the back of the property.
Yeah,
I
it
believe the
was.
plan calls for a fence down the other side, but I don't believe they constructed the fence like she has said.
They did down the back of my property. I've got that. But down my Airy Drive, no. And I will probably try again down on the south side of my property. They had land there. They're starting to clear that off and store stuff there. I know it's a state law that there's supposed to be a fence between the property, commercial, and the private property. I haven't looked into it. There's a fence there, but it's just kind of like a pipe fence across there.
Probably a silt fence.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
original fence, because we were original property of my family. So, but I'm really, because of the heavy equipment, bringing those heavy posts in, took some heavy equipment and all.
Who's our council members? Maybe a good place to start is to reach out to them.
So that would be,
What ward is that?
I think it's Ward 1, was it Ward 2? No, because you're Ward 2, right?
You three.
Three.
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
Is it 3?
And then code
It
enforcement,
might be 2.
Well,
It's at Spring?
I think-
South Springfield.
I think code enforcement needs to look into,
We'll get
I
them.
mean, that's, yeah, Ted,
Yeah.
y'all don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we'll get it to code enforcement and let them make sure.
Because when I went before us a couple of years ago, and he gave me a plat, and said they were going to put an arbor fence up there, and I said, no, that's not going to do me any good. That's worse than a tree. As you can see on the fence, look at the gaps between the fence and the ground.
Is there any water issues back there?
At one time, I think they did. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's why they did not put the fence all the way to the ground, I don't know, because that does impede water flow.
They've had it there, and then they started there from where the fence is, down, if the kids go back there and go down, if they're running fast, which the little one does, they go about 2 or 3 feet, more than 3 feet.
We'll let code enforcement check on it and make sure, I mean, whatever was approved, they'll have to comply with. I mean, I know they're working because it's behind my office,
Yeah, I know,
and there's a lot of racket.
The noise doesn't bother me. I've lived in cities and this and that. He used to travel with his job, so I've lived in a lot. Noise, turn my hearing aid off.
I get it. But,
It doesn't bother me.
I mean, they won't get they have to get a CO when
well,
they're,
can they not shut them down if they haven't done it and they're not doing, well, how much time do they have to build that?
Well, they had 90 days.
from our meeting, typically you have until you get the CO, but we gave them, it was either 60 or 90 days in the
Yeah.
meeting.
Before, it was 60 days when I was here.
Well, I would
More than
think,
60 days.
Yeah, because that was in June.
I think that code can shut them down completely.
I'll get some.
Cease all
They
operation.
did the school right when they built the school.
Yeah. They
I
can-
know they've got a reputation. I don't care about that.
Okay, that's gonna be, if in our meeting, it was 60 days, and code enforcement can go
It was
flex their
60
muscles a
days.
little. So,
Thank you, and
All right.
thank you for being patient with me.
Butch?
Yes, ma'am.
It's Ward 4, Jonathan Martin, it's
John Mark.
Gordon O'Rourke and Jack.
Mosley?
Jack Mosley. Okay. One other motion would be in order.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.